You're listening to the Hour of the Time. I'm your host, William Cooper. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we begin the origin, the history, the dogma, and the identity of the ancient mystery religions which are now known as the mystery schools, the Order of the Quest, Freemasonry, the Ancient Order of the Rose and Cross, the Knights Templar, the Sovereign and Military Order of the Knights of Malta, the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, the Priory de Sion, the Thule Society, are sometimes known as the Thule Society, the Order, the Skull and Bones, the Russell Trust, the Jason Society, the Scroll and Key, the Illuminati, and I could go on and on and on and on. But the most important thing to realize is that they all have been collectively known throughout the ages as the mystery schools, the Illuminati, which literally means illumined ones, international socialism, communism. They are all one and the same, as you will come to know, and you will understand perfectly how they've been able to infiltrate all of our society. What you hear tonight does not necessarily reflect my views or beliefs or religion. Now, I know that if you are intelligent out there listening, you are making some connections here. You see, the mystery schools believe that Christianity is a perversion of the mysteries. While it was plainly true that our life came from and was sustained each day by our Savior, God's Son, it was and would be true only as long as the Son would return each morning. And our hope of salvation would be secure only in a risen Savior. For if he did not rise from his grave of darkness, all would be lost. All the world waited for his imminent return each morning. The Father would never leave us at the mercy of this world of darkness. The heavenly promise was surely that, quote, he would come again, unquote, to light our path and save those lost in the darkness. Logically, even if man himself died, as long as the sun comes up each day, life on earth will continue forever. Therefore, it was said in the ancient texts that everlasting life was the gift that the Father gives through his Son. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that we may have life everlasting on earth. And the ancient text did not mean for you personally, but on earth everlasting life. That is the interpretation of the mystery schools. Since evil and harm lurked at every turn in the fearful dark of night, all evil or harmful deeds were naturally the works of darkness. And with the return of the sun each morning, man felt more secure in his world and therefore was at peace. Therefore, God's Son was, with his warm rays of hope, the great, quote, Prince of Peace, unquote. And of course, the reverse was equally true. The evil of night was ruled over by none other than, quote, the Prince of Darkness, unquote. Hence, evil is of the dark, or the devil. It was only a short step to see that the light of God's Son equated with righteousness and truth, and evil with darkness. From then on, it was simple to understand. Light was good, dark was bad, and the priests of the ancient mystery religion always followed the light. They always looked toward the east. They considered themselves to be illumined. That being true, then the great orb of day, God's Son, could rightly say of itself that, quote, I am the light, and the truth, unquote. We should all, in their words, not mine, give thanks to the Father for sending us his Son, spelled S-U-N, in case some of you were getting confused. In every instance where I have mentioned the word Son, it has been in reference to the Son, S-U-N. For the peace and tranquility he brings to our life is even called solace. Solace is from the word solar, which means sun. Are you beginning to see the light? We now have before us two cosmic brothers, one very good and one very bad. One brings the truth to light with the light of truth. The other is the opposite, or in opposition to the light, the opposer, the prince of the world of darkness. It is at this point we come to Egypt. More than 3,000 years before Christianity began, the early morning sun Savior was pictured in Egypt as the newborn babe. The infant Savior's name was Horus. The early morning sun, our newborn babe, was pictured in two ways. The dove, known as the bringer of peace. The hawk, the god of war who punishes the enemies of God. Today in government we still use these terms, doves and hawks. And that's how powerful this hidden religion is that we use the terms of this religion even today and know it not. At daybreak, this wonderful newborn child is, of course, born again. Hallelujah. Horus is risen. That is what hallelujah means. Even today, when the sun comes up, we see it on the Horus risen or horizon. His life was also divided into 12 parts, or 12 Horus hours, the 12 signs of the zodiac. But now, what about the evil brother of God's Son, that old prince of darkness himself? In the Egyptian belief system, he was called Set, or sometimes Typhon. We are told in the Bible that when God's Son died, the world was left in the hands of the prince of darkness at sunset. Sunset. Do you understand? God's Son was killed by the prince of darkness, Set, at sunset. It was generally observed that God's Son could be depended upon to return in the same manner that he left, namely on a cloud, and every eye will see him, unless, of course, you're blind or dead. Keeping in mind that God's Son not only represented the light of truth, but was put to death by his enemies who could not endure the light of truth in their life, it was taught by the ancients that the very act of opposing or denying the light of truth to the point of killing it happened in one's own mind. When we are confronted with harsh realities of life, the truth, the light of truth, which we do not wish to face and which runs counter to our views, such truth is put to death by your mind and in your head. Therefore, God's Son, the truth and the light, is put to death at the place of the skull, or skull place, located somewhere between your ears. This putting to death of the light of hope in your mind is always accompanied by the two thieves: regret for the past and fear of the future. Don't go away, folks. We have to take a short break. I'll be back right after this pause. And of course, God's Son goes to his death wearing a corona, which in Latin means crown of thorns. Remember the Statue of Liberty? It was given to us by Masonic France. To this day, kings still wear a round crown of thorns symbolizing the rays of the sun. Now, as far back as we can go into the ancient world in our research, we find that all known cultures had a three-in-one or triune God. The very first Trinity was simply the three stages of life of the Son. Newborn at dawn, mature or full grown in its full power at 12 noon, and old and dying at the end of day. In the Bible you will find many combinations of the number 7 in the mystery religion that represents the 7 stars of the Pleiades. And you can see the emergence of the mystery religion in the UFO movement when the Pleiadians come to talk to Billy Meyer in Switzerland. Oh my, how we are deceived by these people. Here are a few examples of the use of the number 12 in the Bible. The 12 months of the year, the 12 apostles of the Son, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 brothers of Joseph, the 12 judges of Israel, the 12 great patriarchs, the 12 Old Testament prophets, the 12 kings of Israel, the 12 princes of Israel, God's Son at temple at 12, and there are many more. All these examples, and countless more, derived directly from the ancient world's fascination with the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now remember, folks, what I'm giving you is the teachings of the mystery school, and this does not necessarily reflect any of my own beliefs or my own religious beliefs or those of WWCR. We cannot fight against these manipulators unless we know who they are and what they believe. And what you want to believe is your own business. Important, for at 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 6 and again at Epiphany chapter 2 verse 20, God's Son is called the chief cornerstone. Now, in our research into the mystery schools, we find that the word in Greek for chief cornerstone simply meant the peak of a pyramid. The peak of a pyramid. The corner foundation stone or peak of the pyramid. The prefix acro, or topmost, was added by the Jews to the already existing Greek adjective goniaios, or at the corner. In that way, the translators of Isaiah rendered the Hebrew word for corner, pinya, Isai, 28:16, describing the stone which was a sure foundation and which probably had reference to the future Messiah. Well understood by the Christian writers was that of an important stone which was both acro, a peak, and a goniaios, a cornerstone. But there are 4 or more corners to a building, and a stone at a corner cannot be uniquely significant. Although you will find in Freemasonry the ceremony of laying a cornerstone for every building that is built, and you look at all the buildings in Washington, D.C., you will see a cornerstone with the Masonic symbols and Masonic date of the mystery schools of the calendar of 6,000 years. Well, we found that we don't believe that it can be significant unless the stone be at the apex of a pyramid where all corners meet and bond together, and that is the secret of the truncated pyramid, missing the capstone on the reverse of the Great Seal of the United States. For we have found in our research that in the mystery religion, the master mason is the cornerstone or the peak of the pyramid, the illumined man, who functions as the eye of Horus or the spy for the mystery schools wherever he is at. Just as the Great Pyramid near Mexico City is called the Pyramid of the Sun, so also the Great Pyramid of Egypt was actually dedicated to Horus, the sun. A picture of this you may see on the back of any $1 bill. Above the pyramid, folks, is the eye, the sun, the eye of Horus, the Son of God. The New Testament tells us 3 different times that God's Son was taught by and learned all things from the Father. He was the pupil. We are told at Matthew chapter 14, verse 17 and 19, that God's Son tends to his people's needs with 2 fishes. The 2 fishes being the astrological sign all astrologers know as Pisces. Thus we have had for almost 2,000 years God's Son ruling in his kingdom, or sign of Pisces, the two fishes. As stated before, these signs are called houses. Therefore Pisces is the Lord's house at this time. Truly, the greatest fish story ever told. According to astrology, sometime after the year 2010, catch that date, folks, the year 2010. And remember what I told you about 2001. Arthur C. Clarke is obviously a member of the mystery schools, and Stanley Kubrick, who's responsible for making the movie, is obviously a member also. According to astrology, sometime after the year 2010, the sun will enter into his new sign, or his new kingdom. As it was called by the ancients, this next coming sign or kingdom soon to be upon us will be, according to the zodiac, the house or sign of Aquarius. So when we read at Luke chapter 22, verse 10, we now understand why God's Son states that he and his followers at the last Passover are to go into the house of the man with the water pitcher. So we see that in the coming millennium, God's Son will bring us into his new kingdom, our house of Aquarius, the man with the water pitcher. Once we realize that in astrology each month is assigned one of the so-called houses of the zodiac, and in heaven are 12 houses, are 12 monthly signs, then the words we read of God's Son saying, quote, "In my Father's house are many mansions," unquote, makes sense when translated correctly. The proper translation is as follows: Father's house equals heavenly abode. Mansions equal houses. So correctly read, in the original text we read, "In my Father's heavenly abode are many houses." Yes, 12 to be exact, according to the mystery religion of ancient Babylon. By careful intention and study of the houses, you will be better enabled to interpret horoscopes. It is well to remember that just as the influence of one planet in one sign may be effected for good or ill by another planet in another sign, so the influence of planets in signs in general may be strengthened, weakened, enhanced, afflicted, or otherwise altered by the influence of planets in houses, according to their beliefs. A rule of thumb to remember is that signs measure your inherent qualities. The planets influence those qualities, and the houses indicate directions for them. In other words, the houses indicate certain things, and a planet in a house influences or activates the things indicated. Now, this is all according to their religion. If you want more explanation, please ask Nancy Reagan. Anyone familiar with modern-day Christianity must surely know we are said to be living in the last days. This teaching is in part based on the idea expressed in Matthew chapter 28, verse 20 of the King James Bible, where God's Son says, quote, "I will be with you even to the end of the world," unquote. End of the world? Yet another simple mistranslation to clarify, and there are many in the Bible with a proper understanding of the actual words used. This end of the world is translated differently in various Bibles. Some say end of time, some say end of the days, and still others say conclusion of this system of things. So what does all this talk of the end times or last days really mean? Well, here's the simple answer, folks. According to the mystery schools, when the scriptures speak of, quote, the end of the world, unquote, the actual word used is not, I repeat, not, end of the world. The actual word in Greek is aeon, which when correctly translated means age. That's spelled, folks, A-G-E. Any library will have Bible concordances. Strong's Bible Concordance is a good reference work to use here. Look up the word age in any secular dictionary or Bible concordance. There you will find the word for age is from the Greek aeon, or A-E-O-N. Remembering that in astrology each of the 12 houses or signs of the zodiac corresponds to a 2,000-year period of time called an age, we now know we are 1,992 years into the house or age of Pisces. Now, correctly understood, it can rightly be said that we today, in fact, are living in the last days. Yes, according to the mystery schools, we're in the last days of the old age of Pisces. Soon, God's Son will come again into his new kingdom, or new age, and that's where all this new age movement and new age comes from, new age of Aquarius, man with the water pitcher. Luke chapter 22, verse 10. That's right, folks, the new aeon, or the new age. This, according to the mystery schools, is the perversion of Christianity. This is the theme of the Bible, God's Son and his coming kingdom age, the new age of Aquarius. Now, what you choose to believe is your business. Remember, don't get mad at me. I am teaching you the mystery religion of ancient Babylon. And I am telling you right now, many people practice this mystery religion in secret, and they hate Christians. They hate Christians because they believe that Christianity is a perversion of their religion and thus is their enemy. When viewing the shimmering rays of sunlight on a body of water at dawn or sunset, according to the mystery schools, one can still see today how God's Son walks on water. Good night, and God bless you all.
You go through all this shit. The devil give you all this money. Go through all this shit to destroy yourself. You destroy yourself. This is not God blessing, my nigga. God don't want you to do no. God don't want you to talk about no sex, money, cars, clothes, and hoes. What makes you think this a blessing? What makes you think that? You see, I'm gonna tell you something. They always want you to. You know what these rappers, all these singers, all these big rappers y'all look up to? They always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part. And that's crazy, man. Yeah, they got all this money, but they dealing with emo spirits. They dealing with killing themselves. They dealing with, man, come on, man. Like, dude, like, y'all don't understand, my nigga. Stop saying that it's a God blessing. This is not from God. This is not from God. And I'll be honest with you, bro. I want to get out this music industry because this is not for me. But I do it because I feed my family. But I don't want to be in this. This is not what God want me to do. God don't want me to do this. But I do it to feed my family. And I want to get out this. I want to get out of the music industry because yes, you go through pain. You go through this because this is what the devil wants you to go through to destroy yourself. The devil wants you to go through this to destroy yourself. But y'all wouldn't understand because y'all not really, some of y'all, I understand that y'all not really hooked on to it, but this is not what the God wants you to do. I'd rather sing about God than sing against him. Because understand that you're singing against him. You're rapping against him. You're not singing for him. Understand this. Y'all be talking about this for God. Oh, God, thank you for this money. That's not God money. God ain't bless you that. The devil could bless you too, just like God could bless you. The devil could bless you too, just like God could bless you. Do y'all understand that? I want y'all to really understand this. Like, I want y'all to understand this because it's coming from me. I love y'all and y'all my supporters, so I gotta keep it real with y'all. This is not what God wants y'all to do. God don't want y'all to talk about sex, money, cars, clothes, and hoes. That's the devil. Y'all talking about what the devil wants y'all to talk about. He wants y'all to tell it to 100,000 people. So they can do the same thing. Crazy ass people. I want y'all to understand this. I love y'all so much, so it's like, me telling y'all this, y'all don't understand, but I'm young. I'm very intelligent, so, like this is not what God wants y'all to do. Like, if you gonna say it's a God blessings, talk about him. Tell other people about God. Tell other people about him. And then y'all can say it's a God blessing, but going through stress and going through all this is what the devil wants you to do so you can destroy yourself. This is what he wants you to do. He wants you to destroy yourself.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
The fans.
Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me.
He also added,
let's get it. Oh, you already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a million times and you didn't even know. That's up, but I still love you.
All y'all doing upside down cross. Even my little partners, man. Stop the boy, you look lame. All that worship the devil. Be with God, man.
When you first got into music?
I was 12 when I first got signed.
Wow. And how quickly did the predators begin to move in?
Well, I think that's the thing. They didn't move in right away for me. I didn't receive anything until I was 18 years old and I joined the Pussycat Dolls. So I think had I not had a career before that, where I knew that there are people with integrity, it wouldn't have probably been alarming, but it was super alarming because I had been in the business and never had any advances.
And when you say is a prostitution ring, those are strong words. People want to understand this.
Oh, well, you know, when you have a den mother from hell that's controlling the girls, manipulating the mind, and verbally and mentally abusive, what's the difference between that and a pimp in order to control the narrative? That's what was done on a day-to-day basis by Miss Anton. And furthermore, you know, it was a constant thing of being, attacked at the back of cars and innuendos by different executives. She knew, and everyone in the group went through it.
In other words, you were attacked by those people that had all the power over you, and it was on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I had to decide for myself my moral compass. I walked away at 21 years old from a massive conglomerate that was launching us into orbit. How bad could it be for a 21-year-old to walk away from her dreams?
They recording his debut album, claiming that it was no longer fun to be in the band. She went on Twitter and she had a lot of things to say, because a lot of people came out when that whole Harvey Weinstein thing was going on. I'm not sure if this was some kind of an agenda or if people started to feel comfortable because someone in Hollywood was actually being accused and things were coming to the light. Because she said, please, Hollywood, start telling the truth, expose the truth. It's time for a new Hollywood. She also said, I know as many men as I do women who have been abused in the entertainment industry by Hollywood elites. Now, that makes me think about Terry Crews.
Any memories for you?
Oh, the best word you just said there was trigger. It was a trigger. First of all, when I read the Ronan Farrow story about all the women who had been, sexually abused and harassed by Harvey Weinstein, I said, my God, the only way I could really phrase it was PTSD. Mm-hmm. And people were like, well, not PTSD. But when I say trigger, it was like, wait a minute. That's me. That happened to me. Yeah. And one thing I love about what's happening right now is that typically this has always been looked at as a women's issue. Mm-hmm. And so guys are like, yeah, this is a women's issue, the whole thing. But what happens is, with me, you're forced to look at this, not 2D, but now it's 3D.
And it seems like she could have had that kind of, thing going on around her, because she started multiple girl groups and a girl committed suicide that was under her because of being depressed about financial issues. And Kaya Jones, it was said it was because of the mental stress that those girls went through, even though that was in 2014. Now, also, it goes on to say that Nicole Scherzinger, one that everyone knows when they think about the Pussycat Dolls, she said herself that this is such a tough industry. To make it, you really have to sell your soul to the devil. A little bit more into beta sex kitten programming. Now, it says the dark occultists who run the entertainment industry utilize fashion as a means of occult communication to others in the know, indicating through symbolism the individuals they have under their control as literal sex slaves. Animal print clothing is employed for this method of communication as it symbolizes the uninhibited or wild instincts brought out in the slave via Project Monarch's beta or sex kitten programming, and when triggered, will perform any action or sex act required by the handler. Kind of reminds me of Cardi B when she was going on that rant when she first got on too. I know they put her through it as well because she wore a lot of the animal print clothing in the beginning, same with Nicki Minaj. and they're definitely used as, you know, they sell sex in order to sell their music. It's the same with the young girl Ice Spice. They're doing the same introduction with her. Literally, you could see it graduate over time. You know, at first she was just, you know, twerking, and now they damn near telling her to take her clothes off. This form of mind control essentially destroys the sacred feminine within the female victim, turning them into nothing more than a piece of meat to be used and abused by the handler at any given time. Women, however, are not the only gender who suffer from this form of programming, as many men who have undergone monarch programming signify beta programming via the animal print clothing they wear. The following pages primarily cover the female victims of beta programming, but if you do an image search for male celebrities, you will find more well-known men and young adults wearing animal print clothing. Sometimes fashion trends have a deeper and darker symbolic significance. A lot of y'all that may have never heard of this stuff may think like, oh, wow, so just because somebody's wearing animal print means they're going through a whole bunch of MK Ultra. But y'all, this stuff is deep. Like, these people are a part of an industry, they're famous, where everything is controlled and operated by, you know, another hand, you know, sometimes to the point where, you know, even the person that's going through it don't actually really know what they're representing. That's why I said it's kind of like a mind alter. You know, it's kind of like they use this stuff to split the personality. So when they're triggered to be this type of sex slave, you know, or them regular selves, they can't really differentiate from either or, if that makes sense. But here's a couple of examples of it here. You got Jessica Alba, Pamela Anderson, Jennifer Aniston down here at the right. You know, it's like once you start to pay attention to it, you'll notice it. It'll start to make sense a lot more. And these are a lot of actresses. You know, all of these Hollywood people go through it, man. This guy in the middle, that's kind of wild. You got Justin Bieber, Russell Brand, Kevin Hart, Jaden Smith, which was a minor at the time, Kanye. We just talked about Jaden Smith. We already know, you know, he was put through all the industry rituals. Chris Brown, CeeLo, Michael Jackson. They've all done it. Wiz Khalifa, Bruno Mars, Harry Styles, Steven Tyler. Yeah, you just have to ask yourself, you know, is this really just something they all like to wear at some point, or is it really a lot deeper than what you think? Because I'll tell you right now, you know, this really is a lot for women. Women wear, you know, you catch a regular woman on the street might be wearing something like this, but think about it. You don't see a lot of men in your everyday life in cheetah skin, print, cat print, whatever you want to call this. You don't see it that much. I'm not saying you're going to see these artists wear it all the time, but it mostly happens when they're first introduced into the industry.
Yes, I'm with the Illuminati. Yeah.
That's her telling y'all that she's in it. You know, she know what it is, and she making so much money that she ain't willing to let it go.
I want to tell y'all I apologize and I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but as far as this music stuff, I won't be doing this music stuff anymore. I started this because this was my dream, and you know, I wanted to make sure I could get me and my kids out the hood. It's always been my passion to rap. A while ago, I had signed a contract and I didn't know nothing about the business or this game out here. And just right now, I'm realizing that I signed my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. I signed myself to the devil. I don't even own myself no more. I sold my soul to the motherfucking devil, and I done prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. you know, and it's just like, I don't know if God can get me out of this, you know, and it's just like to the point where I don't even know, like, I just want to say I'm sorry to my fans. I know y'all love me, I know y'all believe in me, but I can't. I didn't know what I was doing back then, and I lost passion. I don't even believe that. I don't even believe in myself no more because of what I did. I did not know the game was like this. And I'm just ready to go back to school. I'm just ready to move away and go to school. I just want to tell everybody I'm sorry. And I won't be making any more music until I'm out of this contract, and who knows if that'll ever happen. Like, who knows if that can ever happen? I don't know. I done prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I don't even know if God can hear me at this point. But I just made the biggest mistake that I ever made, and I just hope, you know, if you're an artist, make sure you have an attorney to read over your contract, and don't let the person that you signed it to pick the attorney. Don't let them pay for the attorney either, because that means the attorney working for them. But I just lost my passion for this. And
why was the TD Jakes at the Diddy party?
Yeah.
What'd I say? Money and sex.
That's correct. Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No.
That he was recording these?
Of course. He is the J. Edgar Hoover of hip-hop.
Okay.
Y'all done seen him put on the pyramid with a skirt?
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come and what they call freak-offs now.
Yeah.
Is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody know that. I've been saying it.
Yeah.
How many times I got these niggas is wild.
So do you feel like people, when they hear pink cocaine, Young Miami has to bring across?
Wait, the Tusi.
Yeah, the Tusi. That's what they call it.
I found out. I talked to my drug guy. Because I wanted to be informed. Because people was calling it Tusi, that's calling it the Tunchi. I didn't know which one it was. So I talked to my drug guy, and my drug guy filled me in. And then it made perfect sense. Tusi.
Talk to him.
Drugs with Jaguar.
Let's talk.
Drugs education.
101.
So Tusi is the cocaine. But they take the ketamine and cook it up. And they fold it into the coke. Now, if you don't know what ketamine is what they call on the street Special K. It's a veterinary drug. It's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now, see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you wants to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you have the Viagra, to make sure that the dick involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing your fucking self with the coke. Now, see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer. So that relaxes all your muscles. You could get fucked by 80 fucking ton gorillas. You wouldn't feel a thing. So now, your dick is gonna stay hard. You numbed up and you high. You got the ketamine in you so you don't feel shit. And then you add the ecstasy to put in the feeling that you've now blocked out. And now you got a party.
Freak off cocktail.
Yeah. So now, the Tusi, they done skipped. They done skipped all the steps. They condensed it.
Wow.
So you got the cocaine in there, and then you got the ketamine in there, and they say that some of the dealers add the ecstasy in there. Now the Viagra, you still got to take that solo.
Now, y'all, I thought that part was interesting just to kick the video off because it kind of gives you a little inside information for people that don't know anything about you know, the drugs involved in these kind of parties, because it plays a big hand. I think most recently Lil Rod said he was drugged, and remember he woke up in the bed with like 2 dudes or something like that.
Saw it coming. JT a punk. All of them city bitches. Cause JT could have been put a stop to this shit. JT want to sit up there act like she worried about Carisha, but at the same time, you know what she doing. Why ain't you fucking called his out yet? Pull her in off the ledge. That bitch is over the edge. Like, you can't complain about this sitting here playing in your face when all you gotta do is tell the truth. Shut that whole shit down.
So when they list Carisha as a sex worker in the latest...
She is a sex... Her and JT. What don't y'all understand?
To be on payroll.
How many ways do I have to say it? These is wild. They pay bitches to do damage and procure victims. They're sex traffickers, and all of these bitches is whores. Sex worker. $250,000 a month to do strange shit at will. You couldn't wait for Cassie to run. You couldn't wait to be in Cassie's shoes. Carisha, please.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love.
Now, I think we can all agree about Jay-Z. Now, I remember the first couple of videos I was doing when this whole Diddy thing with Cassie and the lawsuits happened. A lot of people were already commenting, Jay-Z is next. Do a video on Jay-Z. Jay-Z next. Blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody was already waiting on Jay-Z. Because we all know he got plenty blood, plenty dirt on his hands to be where he's at in the industry now. So it all makes sense of the chess moves that he's been making. Especially, you know, with people believing that he has a hand in what's going on with Diddy. It even reminds me of this dude, Jaz-O. I think that's him with his arm around Jay-Z in this picture. Now, I think Jaz-O, even after he exposed Jay-Z, I think he ended up working for him again because it was clearly like some stuff where they had a bad relationship or falling out. But he was the one in that interview. If I could find it, I'll put it in here real quick.
Tell y'all, as I told y'all in 2002, and y'all ain't believe me. I told y'all that nigga was a crab. And y'all ain't believe me. You know what I'm saying? How many accounts gotta come up? Dame, Biggs, R. Kelly, Kiss, Beans. I mean, the list go on. That nigga's a crab. It ain't no hate involved, but you know, you gonna see. Still biting my step. Jaz-O's the best. Secret Society with Jay-Z, man. He's involved, but he's involved with this shit, man. He involved with that play shit. Like, see, people don't understand the science behind Satan, Lucifer, and God. And if you notice, he calls himself Jehovah. I'm saying that simply to say that dude think he knows shit, but he still don't know shit. He could get as many degrees as he want, but it's just like trying to get all the degrees you want, but you still got a ceiling. He can't go but so high because the people that he worshiping, that he kissing their ass and letting them fill him up and shit, they don't know shit. They trying to find out every day from us. That's why they follow hip hop. That's why they follow the blues. That's why they follow soul. That nigga's nothing. That's my son, unfortunately.
First off, you know, I want to make a statement. As far as Jay-Z, I never said he was a homosexual. I would not call me being a heterosexual. I would never insult a man by calling him a homosexual, you know, as far as that's concerned. I never witnessed any homosexual activity because, I mean, come on, first of all, if I did, like, what would I be doing there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing?
Some people are saying the whole Wendy Williams documentary that she's pretty much allegedly playing this way to keep herself safe from him, from any unaliving.
It's been working for Orlando Brown. Why wouldn't it work for Wendy?
To play crazy.
Why wouldn't it work?
Hey, no. Hey.
The oosh gosh whoosh wash.
Bop.
Orlando's brilliant.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all spent time with him.
We did.
Yeah.
He's highly intelligent.
Yes.
Imagine what it's been like to wear this character for this long.
No. I can only...
That shit he does is a character. Actually, the shit he does online is the best acting he does.
Is he speaking truth?
Of course he is.
You know? We seen Quiet on set.
Major pain in his ass. Literally. Since he was a kid.
Man.
You mentioned this Panda Eyes. So this is like a society of celebrities that mess with...
Well, yeah, it's a society of the big time celebrities that mess with. The main person that's one of the leaders who actually did this to my she is big into the sodomy thing, and you know, I waited until I was, you know, in life. I do realize that I have made the decision to not do certain things, which means that I've had to eat certain things. I've had to endure certain things that would allow me to be able to say certain things like this, and not be able to you know, be comfortable about not sleeping at night. But I am in a comfortable position, and I can tell you that the Panda Eye thing is definitely something that needs to be rectified, as well as Pornhub. I think that, you know, it's okay to have, you know, an option to buy, and it's okay to, you know, be able to be adult and all that good stuff. But at the same time, I shouldn't be able to have my kid with the phone, and if they just know the name of it, they can just type it in and see whole movies. You know what I'm saying? You know, it should go back to when this stuff started. Everything need to be paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, you know, it's a lot. I know there's a lot of kids running around with credit cards and stuff like that, but still, it's like, it shouldn't be that much access. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're missing. It's like, we need to shut off a lot of access to our younger nation, to where we are growing an astronomical a new nation of people that are thinkers and actors and doers.
Because it creeps into your mind and it creates a false image and narrative about sex, about women, about men, before you can even, you know what sex even really means in the spiritual, you know.
One of the scandals, you know, it's kind of like a Hollywood type of scandal, you know, so this is kind of something that you've kind of touched on before in the past. So I kind of wanted to just get your kind of take on it, man. It was the Balenciaga BDSM scandal. Did you have a chance to check that out?
Yeah, you was telling me a little bit about it last night. Can you go a little bit in deeper form, man? What's going on there?
So basically, they got one of the pictures that I'm looking at right now is a little holding a teddy bear, and the teddy bear is basically dressed in BDSM. You know, it has, you know, like the leather straps on the teddy bear, and
you know, they got that stuff. Okay, so you know,
and everybody was kind of calling them like Satan worshipers, and that they were trying to like everybody was kind of saying that they were kind of Satan worshipers, and that you know, they were condoning exploitation with, you know, dressed like this and. You know,
well, yeah,
got, like,
you know, the thing about it is like
the thing.
Look, the thing like this, bro, is like this, man. Like, so you ever heard of Panda? Like I was telling you, Panda. So you got Panda Panda is a secret code for a certain thing. And so when it comes down to that certain thing, it's so. What it is you basically have a certain nerve in your rectum, and if you touch that nerve, you can turn a person into an animal, you can turn a person into whatever you want them to be if you just hold them down. So pretty much when you see black eyes like Blueface and, you know, shit like that, he got beat up, but he didn't get beat up where you thought he got beat up. He got beat up somewhere else. Okay, and so the eyes come out, and they call them panda eyes, and they do this to. So you see people with these cigars, and they're you know, all these big celebrities. They all have the cigar in common. That's that big ass thing between their legs that they're sticking in, and it's one big society of it. Now, when it comes down to the selling of the, there's shipping and trafficking, and people. This panda eye thing is, you know, the panda, all that stuff is so real. You know, you want to go get fucked by Shaba until your eyes pop out, go ahead. I mean, that's up to you. But, you know, I just think that, you know, people just need to realize what they're looking at when they're watching the television. Everything is right in front of you. The revolution was televised and don't nobody give a shit. The Grinch, that's how I look at him. It's like, you know, it's a real story. We really have a man out there that wanted to steal Christmas. And how do you steal Christmas? You steal the, because if you steal the, you have no more joy. And how do you steal the at birth? How do you do that? You turn into a doctor, you turn into a nurse, you turn into the powers that be that'll protect the person. That, you know, so it's really intricate with this man, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, I pray that, you know, I pray that he gets what he deserves. That's all, you know. I just don't pray for mercy on his soul. That's what I can say.
Explanation of that, definition of that, if you would. What is a panda eye, and what is the purpose of it, and what is it supposed to reflect to us?
Yeah, when you create a vast sudden pressure in the body in martial arts, it even happens if you throw somebody really hard on the floor and you do like a knee drop on them, and at the same time they can get black eye without even being hit in the eye. They can get both eyes going black, and bad health actually starts to cause it as well. You see people with dark circles under the eyes. That's the beginning of a situation in which pressures of toxins in the body are going up. Then the panda eyes, when you rape, typically sodomize, the pressure in the body goes up so vastly because it's a little tiny baby with a grown adult that's doing that. It causes the essentially bruising around the eyes is what you're seeing, just like when you get punched in the eye, but they're getting punched from the inside by a sudden onslaught and pressure in the body.
So when they're raping, how is the pressure then? And I'm still trying to wrap my head around that piece. Where's the pressure coming from? Is it the fact that the child is just so innocent? Is it a spiritual pressure that's coming through to them, that they're being punished at that moment, or what does that look like?
I think he means physical.
Physical and spiritual.
Well, I know the physical comes through. You know, it manifests itself.
I mean, imagine you got an 5, 6, 7, 8 pound baby, and a full adult male sodomizes. Of course, the child's laying face down. They're holding the child head down. You're causing a sudden onslaught and a sudden increase in the pressure to the head, blood pressure.
That's a lot to stomach right there. But that being said, okay, obviously I know your mind has to be so twisted at that point to even go to that level. But my question is, what are they getting out of that?
What they get out, first they like and feed off of these demonics and the demonic beings doing it that have no soul. So they have no compassion. They have no heart, no love, no compassion for anything other than themselves, which is not really love. It's just satanic glee. So what they get out of it is the fear and the torture and the pain and misery of the child. First of all, they literally, the fourth density type beings and fifth density type beings feed off that energy. They feed off the child's torture, pain, fear, agony, terror, just like they feed off the adult. But for children, it's much more profound. The level of energy is much higher.
So the harder the torture, the more they get out of it.
Is it a prelude to access their adrenochrome?
Yeah, that's the next thing, is when the child's going through that. Of course, we're built such that in an emergency situation, God made us so that we could magnify our strength by adrenaline. And that adrenaline compound, epinephrine, goes, and the fight or flight hormones go through the body, like cortisone and all these other things, and it magnifies the strength in the body. But it also causes a very high oxygen level, which oxidizes the epinephrine, and then the adrenochrome is created. And so that primarily that's coming from the hypothalamus and the pineal. So that in combination, they're making those fight or flight hormones that are being highly oxidized. When they become highly oxidized, they create the compound known as adrenochrome.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Nigga, come here, come here. Is that two niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Ovi? He came out the closet, he came out the closet. Oh my God, a rubber.
Is that whole industry with them doors, is it real?
I wouldn't be here sitting talking to you if them doors wasn't real. See, they know who to play with. They know who to play with.
Wait, what you mean you wouldn't be sitting here talking?
I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, meaning I would be somewhere with the elite, the higher ups,
yes,
doing whatever they doing. At a certain level, they don't want you to talk about certain things. Gay rituals, the same sex shit.
Is that real?
I mean, yes, in some cases it is real. You have to have something to leverage. And most of the times, talent that's coming from the inner city don't have a lot to leverage. Their leverage be their bodies as a vessel. In some cases, in some special cases, people that beat the odds, but no, it's all political, it's all paid for, it's all a network of people that kind of closely stick together. Once one person accepts you, then you kind of get passed on to the other people that's in that network of people.
So you mean to tell me to get on a higher level, you have to sacrifice some things, that's real?
Yeah. A religious sacrifice, a physical sacrifice, or monetary sacrifice, meaning giving up all your rights, your publishing, your merchandising, or whatever type of act that you wouldn't, compromising yourself. I'm gonna just put it like that. Compromising your morals that you came into the game with.
Letting a nigga fuck you.
Letting a nigga, fuck you. Letting a nigga take your publishing. Letting a nigga take your fucking merchandising. Letting a nigga do whatever. It should be like an A, B, C, D. Which one you want to give up? Because if they would have came to me, I'd have been like, nah, I ain't doing the cheeks. Nah, I'm not giving up my publishing and shit. Yeah. But sacrifice, I got a lot of niggas I want to sacrifice.
Get them out of here.
Get them out of there.
He in the way anyway.
He in the way anyway.
No good.
Fake friend, get him out of there.
Damn.
Make it like an accident.
So what's the #1 sacrifice in that game? The cheeks?
The cheeks. because the cheeks is a higher form of concentration for them. When they take your cheeks, it's like them taking your manhood and making them more man than you because they took your cheeks.
It is a thing for like showing power over someone else and like, yeah, I got the power over you. But it's also sex magic. It was Aleister Crowley's Thelema, which a lot of these people practice, was heavily using sex magic in their rituals. Other than the Thelema sex magic that involves some homosexual rituals like that, there's also Egyptology. You have the Temple of Set, right? A lot of occultists are Egyptologists in a way, where they study Egyptology. And like I said, it doesn't matter what you believe, if you believe in this or not. It's all about what they believe. And the reason why there's homosexual rituals also in the Temple of Set, Set's magic, other than the Aleister Crowley stuff, which also Aleister Crowley got a lot from Egyptology. He spent some time in Egypt, and a lot of it comes from Egyptology. You have Horus. Horus was basically like, he was one of the good dudes, you know, and Set was the bad dude. But this is the reason why there's a lot of that sex magic too, that involves the homosexuality that these famous people do. In a key episode in the conflict, Set sexually abuses Horus. Set's violation is partly meant to degrade his rival, but it also involves homosexual desire. In keeping with one of Set's major characteristics, his forceful, potent, and indiscriminate sexuality, which, you know, ties also into, you know, Baphomet and all these other, you know, and then the Canaanite gods and all that stuff. In the earliest account of this episode, in a fragmentary Middle Kingdom papyrus, the sexual encounter begins when Set asks to have sex with Horus, who agrees on the condition that Set will give Horus some of his strength. The encounter puts Horus in danger, because in Egyptian tradition, semen is a potent and dangerous substance, akin to poison. According to some texts, Set's semen enters Horus's body and makes him ill, but the contendings, Horus thwarts Set by catching Set's semen in his hands. Isis retaliates by putting Horus's semen on lettuce leaves that Set eats. Set's defeat becomes apparent when his semen appears on the forehead as a golden disc. He has been impregnated with his rival's seed, and as a result gives birth to the disc in contendings. Thoth takes the disc and places it in his own head. In earlier accounts, it is Thoth who is produced by this anomalous birth. But, you know, that's all nonsense. We know that. But this is the kind of stuff that they base the religion that they follow now off of. So, yeah, I just felt that needed some clarification.
It's like a psychological.
It's like, yo, I took a young nigga's ass. I fucked him, so he not more man than me.
So you,
because I took his manhood. So what makes him more man than me? I fucked his ass. That's how they feel it. They're like, I took your soul from you. I took your whole, whatever you are, I took that from you. So that makes my, whatever I got me more stronger, because I took your innocence from you.
Damn. So you couldn't drive that Rolls Royce and have that big old house knowing that
it's not gonna happen.
You'll sleep on the fucking floor at the Ville.
I'm just not gonna do it. Some people just built differently. I don't want it that bad.
So, I want to talk a little bit today. I'm going to call this Baphomet, the God of transformation. Now, this is what the some of you all who may study a little bit, you know, this is what the music industry and Hollywood industry is all dominated by. People are confused about it. You got so many truth seekers and people who don't really know, and this everybody's the Illuminati and they just look for symbols everywhere, and you know, but the real point of Baphomet, I'm gonna show you the symbol, and then I want you to understand that this is the symbol that every artist and every Hollywood actor and everybody has to agree with in order to be famous. You have to bow to this beast in order to be famous. Fame is not based on talent, it's based on your ability to be used by demons. It's based on your ability to open up. I was showing my wife, you can write this down. It's called Hollywood Unmasked, part 1 and 2. Part 2 is real good, but it's on YouTube. You can go find it. And it shows you the actors and the actresses saying themselves that they opened themselves up. The greatest actresses, Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, Denzel Washington, Oprah Winfrey, all of them are saying when we really act in these scenes, we open ourselves up as a muse and allow the spirits to enter us and act through us. They say in Hollywood, the best actor is not the one that's acting. It's not the one that's pretending. It's the one that has a spirit that they've conjured up to act through them. It's how well can you yield to a spirit. And they all know it, and that's the reason why they're so tormented. Yet, because of pride and fame, they continue to do it, even though it means certain destruction. There's a covenant that they must make with Baphomet, the goat god, the god of lust. Are y'all there? And so this is the reason why, how in the world is our Christian teachers and preachers talking about we're going to Hollywood and we're going to take over Hollywood, when to get in the industry, you got to make covenants with these. You got to get into agreement with this. That's the reason why they can't make anything good, with good nature, with real Christian overtones. Anything that's Christian is mocked, and it's almost made to look hillbillyish and crazy, like we have lost our mind, like we're weak people hiding in a church that can't deal with the reality and the world. And in reality, the real reality is that they understand there is a real God, and the God that we serve is against their God, and their God is Baphomet, which is just a symbol for Lucifer. It's the same symbol for that all the other pagans worshipped and all the other pagan religions. You can go all the way back to Egypt and Babylon. Same demons we're talking about. This Baphomet symbol was drawn by a man that incorporated the majority of the pagan religions and put it into one symbol. It's very deep. It deals with the Jewish Kabbalah, and I really need to talk to y'all about that anyway, but it deals with all of these different religions, and it's the symbol now of Satanism. If you heard about the symbol, the satanic statue they put in Oklahoma City, the satanic statue, it was an image of Baphomet, the goat god. So Satan is no longer in the closet. He's coming out and wanting to be acknowledged. And because of this great paradigm shift, what is he doing? He's shifting. There's a shift coming that's going to shift the consciousness of men. And the scripture here is when the Bible says in the last days, they're going to call wrong right and right wrong. This Gnostic style of gospel, this Gnostic teaching that Lucifer is God. And that's what the Gnosticism of everything you're seeing in media, movies, and Hollywood is teaching you, that evil is really good and good is really evil. That is part of the Jewish Kabbalah that teaches dualism, that in order to be righteous, you must become so filthy with sin that when you go all the way down into sin, you get down to the base form, and then you get the light. This knowledge comes to you and you become righteous. This is the reason why Jesus said that if the light in you be darkness, how great the light. That's the light they have, not the all true light of God, not the light of Jesus Christ, but the light of Lucifer.
Seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future, and that somehow calling people the goat would be normalized over the sheep being always the most popular reference.
God damn, we got some good weed, Cat. Jesus Christ.
This must be the weed talk.
Trying to figure out how to jump in on that.
Right. Which is my only goal.
I always wonder whether or not all the stories in the Bible, it's just where we are experiencing it. Like the mark of the beast.
Welcome back to another video. It's Blakk Balloon. And y'all already know what's going on, man. All right, look. Today in this video, I want to revisit a little bit about XXX Tentacion, right? Now, first thing first, I got to shout out the Truth Is channel. I'll put it up on the screen just in case anybody's never seen one of his videos, but I'm sure a lot of you have. Also, I'm going to put up the channel where this footage originally came from, as far as someone who put it in a video together first.
This is when X was like 17. He had like short hair. He didn't even have like the two like blonde, and he was kid. Yeah. He was recording in his house. Yo, if I tell you some real shit right now, like I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. Like these kids, like what I've heard, what they did at Bruno's house. Bruno never did that in the house when I was there. He just like beat girls up and like put them in cages and like.
Yeah, regular like mob boss shit.
Yeah, like you know, crazy. And then what I heard later on was, I guess after he started living with these kids, they started doing like brujeria. Like they started doing that shit, and like these are facts. Like Wi-Fi, funeral, and all these guys would say that. Even Juice WRLD would say that shit. He was like, yeah, like Bruno was doing like they were doing some weird shit. Even X. Yeah, they were when
Florida has that, Louisiana has that shit.
Bro, crazy. I didn't know because when I was living there, like they wasn't doing that. And then I heard that, I was like, damn, that nigga's crazy.
It's that Everglades shit, like crazy witch doctor.
Yeah, they were getting, supposedly they got some of the girls and did like some weird shit, like.
Yeah, like they can.
Sacrifice. Throwing blood just
they
on them.
dope them up somehow, so like they pass out and they're like knocked out. And then like do crazy shit. Maybe sacrifice, I don't know. But
well, that's what I heard, and the girls started tripping out. Like the girls are like some weird shit. I believe in that stuff. I live in Miami. I'm not gonna lie, like I looked into that. I was like, ooh.
Sacrifice his girl's soul when he fucks them on top of his bed. Because he has like the gates of hell pentagon drawn underneath his bed. And he sacrificed his girl's soul on top of the bed when he fucks them. So let the world know that, because that is some real demonic shit, and that's not cool. That revolves around XF.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard it from someone that was at the house, or, you know, she used to frequent at the house where X and all of his homies was staying. And this guy right here on the screen is Bruno. This is the guy who supposedly managed X early on, before X was really even famous. This is the guy that she's talking about. You know, I guess he was a porn star or whatever down in Florida. And he's the one who's sort of responsible for pitting X onto the occult knowledge. Now, you know, from me looking at things about him and digging up other videos, you know, I don't think this guy is like some super huge occultist. You know, he does seem to have some kind of knowledge. Maybe he studied Crowley and his sex magic rituals, which is why he had a pentagram under his bed while he would have sex with the girls. Maybe he studied the religion of Thelema, which was basically Crowley's religion that he created, a bunch of different ideologies that came from that secret society that he was first initiated in, called, I think, Ordo Temporis or something like that, that was basically a secret society that was made up to be like, you know, to like take the place of the Illuminati, the Bavarian Illuminati. Hearing those girls say the things that they had going on at that house, it all makes sense to, you know, how X was living and what he actually became. You know, he really started to kind of like preach that ideology of Aleister Crowley to his fans, and his fans had no idea what he was actually talking about, you know. So, with that being said, y'all, we're going to jump right into this next clip, because I really just wanted to show y'all that and this recorded phone call from when X was in jail. So, check.
All right, what is it? Say it to me. You. Say the first part. Hello? Yes, I can hear you. Say it. Summoning Hecate, goddess of crossroads, darkness, witchcraft, wisdom, and the moon. Please come to me, please. Right, tell me how to spell the name. Summoning. The H-ray. Huh? H-E-C-A-T-E is the H-ray that I was saying. Wait, H-E? H-E-C-A-T-E. H-E-C-A-T-E. H-E-C-A-T-E? Yeah, goddesses of crossroads. Or goddess. I mean, yeah, goddess of crossroads. Goddess of darkness, witchcraft, wisdom. Darkness, witchcraft, and the moon. Wait, hold on. Darkness, witchcraft, wisdom, and what? And the moon. And the moon. Please come to me. Huh? Please come to me. Please. Please come to me. Please. Hecate. Please come to me. Please, Hecate. Yeah. Please. Protect me and bring me freedom. Protect me and bring me freedom. Mm-hmm. Through this sacrifice. Bring me freedom through this. Through the sacrifice, okay. Treat me as if one of your own. Treat me as one of your own. And give me all that is needed. Your own. And give me all that is needed? Yeah. Hecate, surround me in your darkness. Hecate, right? Hecate. Hecate. Surround me in your darkness so that I can bring forth my light. So that. Listen, if I have to call back, I want you to put light.
Now, toward the end of that phone call and toward the end of him reciting the ritual, it went so that I can bring forth my light, accept this sacrifice. Basically, asking the goddess, I will bring forth my light. Will you accept this sacrifice? That was what the ritual, one of the phrases that it ended with. Now, you could hear how desperate X was on that phone call. Now, he was desperate for time because time started running out. And at the end of the phone call, he was like, yo, bro, I'm going to call you right back. Please put $20 to $30 so I can call you right back, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was desperate. He was, he was basically like a practitioner at that time. He was willing to do anything in order to get out of jail and to get back to where he was going within his career in the industry. Obviously, to be linked in with Bruno and around people that have studied this stuff and they know what rituals to perform, they gave him this information, and he was already around it. He'd already seen this kind of stuff happen and practice blood magic, blood rituals, sex rituals. So he was down to do whatever. You could hear it in his voice. Now, I had to speed it up because of the beat. I spoke to the devil in Miami. It was playing in the background, so you can't really hear how desperate he sounds with it sped up, but listen to the original version. You could really hear he really sounds desperate. So, we could very well much believe that this was one of the rituals that he did in order to get what he got in the industry, to become rich and famous and have that hold the way that he really did on his fans. X had a hold on young people like we've never seen. And that's what I was trying to stress to y'all in the beginning. I believe he did some really powerful magic. He prayed and asked very powerful spirits to help him with this stuff, and it worked. Could this goddess of witchcraft, Hecate, been one of them? And just, a real quick brief history, I guess, over some Greek mythology we could go over, in the ritual that they were writing down. He basically tells you what she was. She was a goddess of the crossroads of magic, of witchcraft. She was also known as the goddess over the night, the moon, ghosts, and necromancy. Her parents were Titan gods, Perseus and Asteria. It says she is often displayed holding 2 torches or a key. It is believed that Hecate represented witchcraft, magic, and ghost. She has many different interpretations. She's a guardian of the crossroads, Hecate's association.
And it was the crossroads where one may encounter monsters, sprites, demons, and the undead. No one knows exactly when or where superstitions surrounding crossroads originated, but it has been around for thousands of years.
I was with some friends in LA, and it was this big influencer party. Should I say her name? It was Bella Thorne party. So I got invited from some other friends. It was on Halloween. I already don't celebrate Halloween. That's the devil's day. But I happened to be with them, and they was going. I was like, fuck it, let's go. So it already was a lot of signs. The party said you have to be half naked. I'm like, first of all, I ain't going half naked nowhere. Second of all, it was like a lot of signs that was adding up that night. Like the same night on Hollywood Boulevard, the party was off Hollywood Boulevard, some guy got shot and killed on Hollywood Boulevard, so the whole street was shut down. So that was another sign. So then we get to the party. You know, this is the beginning of all this COVID stuff. So we get up there. They talking about, oh yeah, you can't bring your phone in. I'm like, first of all, who ain't bringing their phone in? I'm bringing my motherfucking phone in. I don't give a fuck who you is. It could have been Kim Kardashian, and I'm bringing my phone. And then you got to sign some papers. What am I signing some shit for to get into a party? Like, what? Like, I'm from Atlanta. We don't do shit like that. And then this is where it really threw me off. They said they had to prick your blood to get in. I said, oh, no, I'm good. Everyone else went. I called my Uber and left.
Y'all, they are fucking niggas around. They giving niggas some shit that ain't even what you think. You fuck around, wake up tomorrow, shit, ass nigga with a footy on, and don't know what the fuck you just done did. I mean, real shit. Your motherfucker meat pistol fucked up and your ass hurting. You don't know what the fuck is saying. You don't know who to tell. But this is what the game is going to. That's what it's going to. Then, here it is, it's time for a contract to come out. Nigga want to sign you for 5 years. You like, nah, dog. So you don't want to sign with us? Nah. Not for no nah. Man, pop in the tape. Show this nigga what he did last night. I'm Searx. Dude, this real shit I'm telling y'all though.
And we know he sold his soul. He stood on a pentagram in some kind of looking attic where we could put that picture right here on the screen.
I don't know, man. Every time I put out an album, or every time I'm about to release an album, for some fucking strange reason, man, you know what I'm saying? I always lose somebody close to me. It was my pops, it was James, it was my sister. Like, I always lose somebody close to me, so, you know, shit feel like, you know, some crazy shit, like jinx or some shit.
What is the scary voice on your tracks? What is that?
What scary voice?
That deep. Oh yeah.
That's just my ad-lib.
That you do that?
Yeah.
And they just modify it, whatever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is the purpose? What is it? Is it like your signature?
It's my signature. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it, I mean, to me it seems a little dark, a little.
I'm a dark nigga. What can I say? I don't know, man. Like, you know, that's what I'm into. I'm sorry you don't like it. You know?
Well, it's a little scary.
You know, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it's not for you.
It's probably not for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you
I'm
can
just,
listen to fucking problems, right? You get jiggy to that, right? You got a boo, right?
Yeah.
You got a fucking problem.
I got a lot of problems. I mean, yeah, we can get, no, I mean, I was just wondering. I'm not gonna bring up the I word, but
Chinese Illuminati, that don't bother me.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I was Illuminati. I'd be probably a billionaire. People always talking this Illuminati stuff. Show me Illuminati. Show me that, please. Like,
you ready?
I want to know. Because I thought that they come and they got money and all this other shit. Nigga, I had to work for everything I got so far. Ain't no Illuminati come and help me with nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I personally, man, I believe in God. I'm a man who fears God, and I pray to God.
Now, y'all notice the weirdest thing about that clip, right? Is how all of a sudden out of nowhere, when he said he believed in God, he started stuttering over himself. Somehow he developed a little small cough, and he just seemed very confident before that. But when he started to tell a lie and say that he believed in God and all this other stuff, he started like, you know, he got the hiccups, basically. He started fumbling over himself. He did a little cough for no reason when throughout that interview he hadn't coughed not one time. He felt the need to clear his throat because he was lying. If you look in the background at A$AP Ferg and that other dude, soon as A$AP Rocky said, I believe in God, they both look down at the same time. That's that shit where...
So when we go upstairs, they got a whole nother skit for me. This is where my mind, they trying to put me in a ritual. You got snakes, you got wine, girls, fruit, You got a feast table prepared. It's a what, $5,000 to $10,000 a night. A suite, 6-7 bedrooms, balcony. And no girls except these 2 whores they brought for Charleston. 2 white whores at that. And Charleston had already been online how he done raped white bitches. Boy, they trying to set this nigga up.
Tried to frame you.
I didn't eat anything. If y'all see how I was looking at that blonde hair white boy.
Yo, this sound like the Get Out movie. You ever watched the Get Out movie?
No.
You might want to go watch it, man. You probably.
So listen. So when they take me upstairs, I said, "God, Aiden, why I ain't staying up here?" He said, "Oh, next time, Monk, you're gonna work your way up here." I said, "No, I'm all right where I'm at. That's a bad motherfucker down there too, boy. Shit." Say, I just want to let y'all know we got a new docu-series. Charleston White escaping the Illuminati. Yeah, Charleston White escaping the Illuminati. I don't want that Tyler Perry money. I don't want that Tyler Perry money, Cash. I don't want that motherfucker. I don't want that money. They gotta fuck you. And listen, Charleston White has escaped the Illuminati. They tried to put me in jail last night. How many police officers came to the hotel room? 8 to 9 police.
If I were the devil, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Apparently willing to admit the attack was what it appeared to be on the what it was on the video. The Australian government has attempted to erase the video evidence from social media. X, formerly known as Twitter, indicated Friday that the Australian government has ordered it to remove the video evidence of the anti-Christian attack. While the platform appeared willing to accommodate the Australian e-safety commissioner regionally, that apparently was not enough for the Australian state, which has since demanded global censorship of the video. Now, what reasons could they want for that? Are they worried about copycat attacks? Absolutely not. It's been fucking open season on Christians for a couple of decades now. Probably longer. Right? Oh yeah, you can go on stage and make jokes about Christians. You can fucking make whole videos and everything. You can even go on Reddit r atheism and go, God? Really? And all that stuff. Oh, you can do all of that. It's absolutely fine. But the other religions, oh no, you absolutely cannot do that. You cannot do that at all in any way. In fact, there are laws. There are laws now, new blasphemy laws, where if you make fun of Judaism or Islam, especially in Britain, you can find yourself in a jail cell. New blasphemy laws. It's funny that, isn't it? It's so strange. South African billionaire Elon Musk and his company have effectively told the government to pound sand. Fantastic. That's great. That's fine. Right, because I think the main reason that the Australian government doesn't want that video out there is they don't want people seeing the way things are. The way things are. You're getting Christians attacked all the time, you know, you're getting fucking churches getting set on fire all over the place. Like, and mysteriously we can never find out who fucking did it and all that type of stuff. It's because it's open season on Christians, right? And this is a stark, in-your-face reality of what it's like, the way things are. So the Australian government is like, ah shit, hide that. Hide that. Can't you just get murdered quietly? God damn it, man. G'day. I don't know where that came from, I'm sorry. Blaze News previously reported that police were dispatched Monday evening to the Christ the Good Shepherd Church in Wakeley, a suburb of Sydney, in response to reports that a number of people were stabbed. A 16-year-old radical previously... Blaze! Blaze, no! Do not! The fact that the knife didn't fully open probably saved his life. Some people are calling it an act of God, you know, the fact that the guy's fingers were chopped off and stuff like that, and the priest was actually fine. And he even, like, blessed the guy afterwards, because, I mean, at the end of the day, he's Christian. You know, Christians, they like to forgive and they like to forget. Unfortunately. But anyway, right, and the guy's obviously been done on terrorism charges and stuff like that, and I really, really do hope that the bishop makes a full recovery. But again, this is one thing that I've spoke about a little bit on this channel, is it is open season on Christians. It's absolutely fine. You can go on Netflix, you can go on, you know, Question Time, you can go on any fucking comedy panel show and go, Christians, am I right? Another one which has been probably about 60% of, like, comedy for, like, the last, like, 3 decades, to the point where it's like, it's old now. It's old, and everyone's like, you like to make jokes about the Jews and the Muslims. Why don't you do jokes about Christians? Because it's dead. That's literally been the majority of comedy for the last 3 decades. That's why I don't do it. It's dead. It's a dead meme. Catholic pedo priest? Man, like, everybody makes that joke. Every comedian makes that joke, to the point where you can't mention Catholicism in a room with them without all of them turning around like, like, and making those jokes. That's why I don't make jokes about them. I'm one of the very, very few making jokes about Muslims and Jews. I have a niche market, right? You know, there's a supply and demand. You know, I've got a supply for something that is in high demand, but no one else is supplying it. So fucking, I'm a capitalist at heart, my boys. That's why I don't do it. It's a dead meme. It's been fucking, that horse is well and truly been beaten into fucking dust. That's why I don't do it. But everybody else does it, and everybody else has done it for long enough that it's just okay to shit all over Christians and fucking stab them. Like, apparently, oh yeah, go up and set fire to their church. The police won't fucking investigate that shit. However, throw a bacon sandwich at a mosque and then you'll get fucking thrown away in prison for a couple of years and then mysteriously die in your cell. True story. Go fucking figure it out. Go Google it, even, is what I meant to say there. But yeah, also, fuck you, Blaze. Fuck you, right? I just wanted to read your article. I'm not signing up, right? I like you. But at the end of the day, you're journalists, so no, you're not getting any of my fucking money. But yeah, it's been open season on Christians for a while now. And the Christians are starting to get a little bit uppity. They're starting to get a little bit angry. They're starting to get very, very, very fed up with the way things are. And boy, oh boy, when those chickens come home to fucking roost... Good lord, these fuckers are going to make Baldwin look like a pussy.
Listen, there's so much proof to prove that the Bible is really real. In the Bible, it talks about how God met Moses on Mount Sinai in a fire. Until this day, Mount Sinai is still burnt to the top. You got the rock that God told Moses to split in half to make water come out. That's still there till this day. And inside of this rock, they said that there's erosion, proving that water was literally flowing out of that rock at one point. And not to mention that rock is literally like 60 feet tall. They found chariots in the Red Sea where God parted the Red Sea and allowed the Israelites to cross through and make the waves crash over the Pharaoh and the people that were chasing them. In the Bible, when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, he made it rain burning sulfur. And they found 100% pure sulfur in the exact spot that Sodom and Gomorrah was. And supposedly it can't be found nowhere else in the world. You got Lot's wife who turned to a pillar of salt because she disobeyed God while Sodom and Gomorrah was getting destroyed. And she's supposedly still there until this day. You got Noah's Ark that they found in the exact spot that the Bible said that it landed at. And when they measured it, it was the exact measurements that God told Noah to build the Ark. Not to mention they found blood that had dripped through the cracks of the ground and landed on the Ark of the Covenant in the exact place that Jesus Christ got crucified at. And when they tested the blood, they said that the blood only had 24 chromosomes. And every human on this earth has 46 chromosomes, which means whoever blood this was only had one parent and got all his traits from his mother. And there's only one person that we ever known to walk this earth that didn't have an earthly father, which was Jesus Christ. And the crazy part is when they tested the blood, they said that the blood was still alive because it still covers our sins to this day. And that's why God said that man will be without excuse on the day of judgment as to why they didn't get their life to Christ, because there's too much evidence out here. Get right with Jesus Christ.